And I just had like a 10-minute tirade that I went on about explaining my ADD in a funny way, to be a comedian, and how I need to record my thoughts, to keep them so I remember them later because I keep forgetting stuff. Jesus, I lost that whole thing because I didn't take the time to make sure it was recording. God, this ADD is killer. I know why people take medicine for this stuff. And I never realized I had it. I just thought I was really freaking smart. Because in the last 10 minutes, I've sat here talking, just spewing out what I was feeling, only to realize I never made sure it was recording. I talked about how, I want to start recording my thoughts and just keeping a log because, maybe someday somebody will find them and think I was like Nostradamus because, I play out all these scenarios in my head just constantly. I'm constantly going through scenarios in my head. If I started recording some of those, maybe some of them will play out. Maybe some of those scenarios that I imagine will actually play out. And if they do, and it turns out that, wow, he was a really smart guy, then I'm going to attach some really witty stuff in there so that if they do find this later and they think I'm some type of a mystic, I can still get my little asshole digs in it at them. And then I talked about how bad my ADD was and that I just realized I had it. And that I should make a comedian show, like a comedy sketch show, just talking about my viewpoint on things. Because if people know it's a comedy show and they know I'm talking about myself, I can say whatever I want about anything that'll be hilarious to me. And if people like it, they'll like it. I won't be forcing it on people. I can just say what I'm saying because I think it's funny. And since I've already told everybody, hey, don't be offended, I'm just being a comedian, then I can get away with saying all of what I actually, find funny, even though probably I know I shouldn't. But I've got ADD, so I don't know what the right thing to do is. And in my head right now, I'm going back and forth of, but what if people say you're doing this? But what if they say you're going from this viewpoint? I'm playing out the whole political spectrum in my head as I'm thinking of this very invention that I'm going to be doing mentally. God, ADD is horrible. And yes, this is a self-justification video for my defense in case anybody gets not defended. See, I can't even say the right word. Offended. If you get offended by what I'm saying, I'm sorry. This is how I am. I can't help it. If you've got a face covered in warts and one of them has a hair that pops out, I'm going to laugh and probably say something. I can't help it. Yeah, I know it'll hurt your feelings possibly. But after I make fun of you, I will make fun of myself at the same time to make you feel better about it. Because I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I'm only trying to get you to laugh. Just to see a smile. And I know this even sounds bad, but if you're ugly, I'm going to make fun of you because you're ugly. But then I'm going to make fun of myself because maybe I've got a small pecker. Or maybe I know I'm ugly too and I'm bald. Or maybe my hair migrated to my butt. I'm going to make fun of myself so that you don't feel bad. Because I'm just trying to get you to laugh. You're trying to get me to laugh. And I don't think ugly people are disgusting. Because ugly to me isn't ugly to somebody else. It's just like when people look at some of these supermodels that the news tells us we should all think are gorgeous, and every movie star talks about, and they make porno videos about for some godforsaken reason. Some of those people I think are ugly as hell. But then I kind of have a thing for people like, oh, I don't know. I really had a thing for Queen Latifah for a long time. And then I had a thing for Cindy Crawford for a short while, but I think that was like a media-driven thing, because looking back, I know self-consciously, I would have stared at that goddamn mole every time I talked to her. That's what I would have done. I mean, yeah, she was pretty and all, but I wouldn't have been able to not stare at that goddamn mole. I mean, I know I've got moles that people might stare at. I don't notice they stare at it. But do they think to themselves, oh no, will he notice me staring at his mole? Yeah. Does that make them act different around me? Yeah. Am I still going on about my ADD because I am rambling incoherently, and maybe this is my defense video? What? Yeah. Defense video in case I get sued. Yeah, see? God, this morning is horrible.